This week on Twende, we are taking you to the floor of the Rift Valley. Did you know one of Kenya's most recent volcanic eruptions? We take you to Butot. We take you to Butot and learn what happened there.
Sasa hapa inaitwa lava field. Unaona vile kuna maize field. Hapa ni lava field. Mawe zigrow, mawe zilisha grow, sasa ziko hapa.
We get to show you how energy is harnessed from steam. Kuku hawaitumii kuchemsha mayai. They are using it to generate electricity. Welcome to Africa's largest geothermal plant. Steam, panda! Steam, panda! This is Hell's Gate National Park, one of the smallest in Kenya, but home to the 8th largest geothermal plant in the world. This side, which we visited last time, is patrolled by wildlife. Beyond this are these huge structures where what appears to be smoke puffs up into the air. These are the stations that produce power using fuel from deep within the Earth's crust. Olkaria is a high-temperature geothermal system located within the central sector of the Kenya Rift Valley. The geology is dominated by Pleistocene, Holocene, Comenditic rhyolite flows on the surface and basalts, trachytes and tuffs in the subsurface. Lakini nini hii nasoma? We wanted to please the geologists na watu wa engineering, lakini nikiendelea hivi, sintajiuma ulimi. Geo is earth and thermal is heat. So geothermal means the earth's heat, estimated to about 5,500 degrees centigrade at the earth's core, or just about as hot as the surface of the sun.
Engineer Karengete, what is this? Naona tu kitu silver. What is happening here?
This is a geothermal production well. A geothermal production well. Ni kama vile unaweza kuwa na pressure cooker. Unapika githeri. So uko na bana chini, alafu your pot, your pressure cooker pot, na ndani umeweka maji na nyama. Na umefunika. Sasa hiyo kifuniko ukitoa, hiyo maji na steam itaenda kwa ceiling na hata soup itaenda kwa ceiling. Sasa it is exactly the same in a geothermal system. So hiyo maji na steam inakuja, ikifika hapa tunaielekeza kwa ile kanyungu. Hiyo kanyungu tunaita separator. Ni ya kuseparate maji na steam. Kwa sababu ile mtambo tuko nayo, the turbine itself, inatumia steam which is 99.99% dry.
Ni maji inachemshwa huko chini ya maji. And the steam is used to drive the turbines which then produce electricity. How did this place come to be known as Olkaria? The name comes from something that is found here in plenty. You see it on the screen, but it's not what you are thinking. You probably went for the steam because it is in plenty, right? But if you look harder, you'll see the ground is red. And this is no ordinary soil.
Tunatafuta hiyo red ochre kwa sababu hapa ukikuta kuna zile ambayo sio special, imekuwa ni kama mchanga hapa.
Olkaria has something to do with the earth, and Leshish wants to demonstrate a process for me which needs water. But where do we get water in this dry land? We will use the steam. There is this cylindrical device that has a physical process taking place. Kwa wale school fees yenyu haikunywa maji, unajua kuna process ya kubadilisha steam iwe maji. This is the condensation process that helps the community around get clean drinking water for the people and the animals. Before Leshish can teach me about Olkaria, I am about to get a physics lesson of my own.
Maji ni moto.
Maji moto.
It's okay, hata ikuwa moto vile. Ochre is a natural clay earth pigment that is a mixture of iron oxide, clay and sand. The red one is called Olkaria.
Yeah.
Hii ni mzuri kwa kutumia.
Yeah.
Hii ni safi.
Yeah.
So utaweza weka maji kidogo.
Na sasa hii red ochre ni hiyo jina ni ya Kimasai ama
Hiyo red ochre ni I hope ni jina ya Kiingereza kwa sababu kwa Kimasai sisi tunaita Olkaria.
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 In Kenya, this natural earthly pigment that is closely associated with the Maasai is found only in this area. The ochre is applied on the face and on the hair by the Ma communities that include the Maasai, Samburu and Ichamus during their various traditional ceremonies. The Olkaria used all over the country is sourced from here. So tumejua where Olkaria came from. How is it that Kenya is blessed with so much geothermal potential? It started eons ago. The Rift Valley is an intracontinental ridge that runs from the north to the south. The floor is broken by volcanoes, some still active, and contains a series of lakes. The beautiful scenery aside, this is a vital resource that holds the key to the region's energy needs. Nature has dug up part of the earth for us and making it easier to access the geothermal resources underground. That is what some visionaries saw and started exploration in the 1940s. In 1956, the first geothermal wells were dug, but they had more water than steam and didn't work well. But the pioneers wanted to make waves. They did not give up. And today at Olkaria, the geologists are very good at finding the right spots.
What's happening here?
So there's steam here because it means you're close to the heat.
Yeah.
The heat that is from magma close to the surface.
Yeah.
And what it is doing,
Yeah.
it is heating up the groundwater
Yeah.
and coming out from the subsurface
Yeah.
as steam.
As steam.
Yes. So what is happening here where you have this high heat,
Yeah.
that there are some plants that thrive in that environment,
Yes.
and they actually like it. So for example, you can see this moss.
Yeah.
You see it is not here, for example.
Yeah.
It is right here.
Yeah.
So it wants to grow where there is the high heat.
Yeah, the high heat.
And again, we also have another special type of plant called the geothermal grass. This one that looks spiky.
Yeah.
This grass, what we have noticed when we have studied the field, it only grows where you have heat close to the surface.
Yeah.
So wherever you have some heat, you find the geothermal grass. And it's a good indicator for us in science when we're going to do other measurements. When we see it, we're like,
Okay,
very
so
good.
hapa kuna kakitu.
Kuna kitu.
And then, is it, okay, so we are inhaling this gas.
Yes.
Is it safe? Ama sahi we now just tuanze kutengeneza wili yetu.
So here, majority of whatever is coming out from this fumarole is just water.
Yeah.
So steam. When you boil water in a pot, if you go put your face in there, you're going to have steam come to your
or
face.
a burnt face.
Or a burnt face if you're very close. So basically, that is what is coming out from
it's
the
just
ground.
water.
Tafadhali, let us be clear. Geothermal grass does not bring geothermal activity. It is vice versa. So usifikiri ati ukipanda hii nyasi shamba yako itakuwa na geothermal energy.
So what makes this possible here in Olkaria? The steam, na hii nyasi, na moss.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Olkaria is a volcano. It's a volcanic center.
Yeah.
So that means that there is some magma close to the surface, and it's the one responsible for this heating up of the groundwater.
Yeah.
That accumulation of the steam, we're able to drill and get steam at high pressure that is used now to generate a power plant.
Yeah.
So what you're seeing here is just an indication of what is happening
Already
below.
Below.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and if you look at the map, it's all within the East African Rift.
The geological activity is still ongoing. There are forces from within that are keen to divide this country.
So this rift has it stopped? Ama sasa ni hivyo tu? Ama will it continue digging for us?
It is a young rift.
Yeah.
It is going to continue. So it's a divergent rift whereby it's breaking apart.
Yeah.
So this process is going to continue. In geological time scale, we talk about millions of years as like this morning, you know? Yes.
It was no laughing matter on March 2018 when residents of Mai Mahiu got a sneak preview of the split.
From above, the fault in Karima stretches from one end to the other as far as the eye can see. It is deep too.
Tukikataa kutoka, hii mtaro inaendelea. Unaona hata hapa jana hawezi kusovoka. Na leo kuna tomboka.
So nature takes years to split a country, but politicians can do it in a flash.
So 2 centimeters. So now there's volcano, there's volcanic activity underneath, obviously, and the rift continues to grow apart every year. So is there a risk of this place exploding? Like a volcano just one day nasema nimechoka na itokelezee kama huko Goma.
Yeah, it's not threatening to say that these volcanoes right now are going to erupt, but we have to keep monitoring to see the activity. Because when you see them to that size, it means there's a volcanic history. For it to be that size, it means there were eruptions. Whatever ashes you're seeing here, many of them also came from Longonot. But that is in history. So it's an active rift, but it's not as active as the western branch, where you have Goma, which keeps on erupting and exuding lava that even covers the city of Goma and things like that. So it is imperative that we continue monitoring for hazards like that. They may be prone. However, exploiting geothermal, for example, depressurizes the system. For example, you don't expect to have those hydrophreatic reactions because you're depressurizing you're depressurizing the system, and then you generate power, and because we do it in an environmentally friendly way, we take back that fluid back into the ground to recharge the system, and it comes back again, generates power and that's cycle. What we call renewable energy. Yes, that is why geothermal is the greenest form of energy that you can have.
That's very interesting. I never thought about it. You are munatoa pressure, muna release whatever pressure that would probably have pushed that volcano. Yes,
because
sooner.
You can keep on accumulating and being angry all the time if you use that word. Yes.
Kufura, kama ndazi.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We haven't seen any eruptions in our lifetime, but that has not always been the case. One of the most recent eruptions in Kenya happened right here in the Olkaria. Ukaamka ujipate hapa, unaweza amini uko Kenya? Wacha hata Kenya, hapa kuna kani kama dunia nyingine. This is the Ololbutot lava flow.
Sasa hapa inaitwa lava field. Unaona vile kuna maize field, hapa ni lava field. Mawe zilisha grow, sasa ziko hapa. Eventually zita break down zikuwe volcanic soil. This is amazing. It feels and looks like an alien planet. But hivi ndio earth inakuanga.
Najua mnajiuliza Ololbutot ni wapi? It is within Hell's Gate National Park on the Olkaria side. Kwa wale mnataka kuenda Goma au Hawaii kuona aftermath ya volcano, hakuna haja kuenda mbali. Njoo tu hapa Olkaria. The fault here erupted 180 years ago in the 1840s and measures 5 kilometers cubed. Sasa najua wengine wenyu mnashindwa. Did it really happen all those 180 years ago? Yet, hakuna mtu alipiga picha. And there are no surviving witnesses.
And to know that it's a young lava flow, from where we were, how is the vegetation?
This is barely.
few.
Yeah.
So it means that it is that young. But the beautiful thing with volcanic rocks,
Yeah.
they break down very easily.
Okay.
And that's why we're able to form volcanic soils
Yeah.
very fast. So you can see plant life is coming.
Sasa ndio
Starting to
pioneers.
come. The pioneers.
The pioneers were
Yes, they're the
plant life in this
pioneers.
area.
Yeah.
Death, destruction, and suffering aside, the volcano would prove useful to people as it provided tools for them.
So these were probably used for tools. Na we don't use them anymore. Lakini bado tunatumianga kusugua inaitwaje mguu na wengine
You
sura
use it.
zenyu.
Yes, you
Yeah.
use it too. Or even in the toothpaste. When you powder
Toothpaste?
it, yes, when you powder it to
Yeah.
very fine powder, it is also an additive in toothpaste.
Okay, start.
Kwa wale mnatumia hako kamawe kujisugua mguu, sasa mnajua mahali kanatoka, sivyo? Don't take it for granted. So kuna wale waliona hizi signs zote wakaona this can be a great location for exploiting cheap energy. Ni vizuri siku hizo siku juu mimi ile biashara ningeona hapa ni hiyo tu ya kuuza mawe ya kusugua miguu. Now that we have an idea why Kenya is ideal for exploiting geothermal power, let us now get back to how this place became the biggest in Africa. Prospecting for geothermal had started in the 1940s and the first wells were dug in the 50s. Then, in the mid-70s, with help from international organizations like the UNDP, British Geological Survey and others, 6 more wells were drilled. These ones were promising. And in June 1981, 77 years after the world's first geothermal power plant was built in Tuscany, Italy, Naivasha made history in Kenya with the continent's first geothermal plant. This is the Olkaria 1 geothermal plant. Ingawa siku hiyo ilikuwa inaitwa tu Olkaria. The plant produced an average of 15 megawatts, which seemed like a science project then. The capacity increased to 45 megawatts by 1986, but the project seemed to fizzle out due to a lack of funding. Then, in 2002, there was an eruption in Nairobi.
Mizinga 21 ndio imeanza kupigwa na wananchi.
Mimi Mwai Kibaki.
A new political administration came into power and it was hungry for more power. Electric power. They had ambitious plans to turn around the economy, and energy was a key requirement. Hydro was the main source of power but was unreliable due to frequent droughts. Also, building new dams would need a lot of land and displace many people. Geothermal does not require a lot of land and displaces fewer people. On his first visit to Olkaria in 2003, as president, Kibaki asked what they needed to expand. The government would then allocate 2.7 billion Kenya shillings to improve the geothermal plant. Geothermal is a risky, expensive venture that can work against you, and sometimes ground inaweza kukukataa. Lakini kuna vile ilikubali, na kwa hivyo in 2012 the government got more ambitious and decided to build the largest geothermal station in Kenya.
So we are now going to the presidential viewpoint.
Presidential.
Yes,
Oh.
because we made it
Yeah.
when President Kibaki
Yeah.
came to commission this power plant.
Okay.
This is the groundbreaking ceremony for the 80 billion shilling plus geothermal power plant at Olkaria.
Once complete, it will be Africa's largest geothermal power plant and the world's single largest geothermal power project.
With that, the stage was set to be a powerhouse when it comes to green energy. Okay, enough with the history. I'm sure you want to see the cool stuff. You have spotted your location and now you want to dig your steam. Hiyo sio choo ya futi 6 ambayo utaita tu watu wawili wa kuchimbie. You're about to dig one of the deepest holes in Kenya. Cheap power does not come cheap. It is very expensive to get or extract steam from the earth, as you have to dig kilometers into the ground. Hapa ndio mashini zinaingililia. So nature has helped us by digging up the Rift Valley, which helps us get closer to the earth's core. Sasa hapo ndio tunaambiwa tukutane halfway. Hata wewe chimba kidogo, huwezi pewa kila kitu. So let us explore from the start the process of extracting steam from the ground. So ushafanya hizo study zako, ukaona hapa ndipo tutakapoanza kudrill well. Now bring the crew. Crew flattens the ground. Then wanajenga nyumba zao. The rig is electric and you need huge tanks to store diesel that is used to power the generators. They consume hundreds of liters of diesel a day. Drilling also consumes a lot of water and you need these massive tanks for storage. Geothermal sites can be in remote areas that are hard to access. No matter where it may be, this trailer has to make it there, hata kama ni kujenga barabara mpya. It is one of the most difficult tasks to drive this massive structure to the site. Hii kazi inahitaji ugali. There is a lot of heavy lifting and turning. It is a lot of work that can take several days. Na hii ni setup tu, kazi bado. Finally, the rig is up. Next week, we learn how the drilling takes place and how the landscape is changing. Have you ever seen the inside of a geothermal station? Let's take a visit inside the biggest one in Olkaria. Hatuwezi toka huku kama tujaogelea.
So welcome to the geothermal spa. Heated pool.
And I get to swim in the biggest natural spa in Africa.